Hey everyone, it is your girl Marvette over here in rainy Metro Atlanta because it is raining today. So I figured today would be a good time to go ahead and create an updated how to launch an Etsy store because Etsy has made some changes. You guys know I say that I'm going to try and keep it nice and short, and that never happens, so bear with me. But the purpose of this tutorial is to simply show you guys how to quickly go in and launch an Etsy store, especially with Black Friday coming up. You want to go ahead and get this done. I'm going to try to show you how to do this like in under an hour so that you have absolutely no excuses. Anything that I need to share with you, I will leave it in the descriptions or in the description, which includes a link to get 40 free Etsy listings. It doesn't sound like a whole lot, but that little 20 cents begins to add up. So take advantage of the free listings. I will also leave links to different tools, the whole 9 yards, any other resources. Some of these links will in fact be affiliate links. So do understand that. And all of that is contained below. So let's just go ahead and get started. First things first, you can use the link to get your free listings. Make sure you create a brand new, it doesn't have to be a brand new email, but I prefer to use a brand new email each time I set up an Etsy store. And it's a requirement. It doesn't have to be brand new to you, but it needs to be brand new to Etsy. So if you already have stores on Etsy, you know that you have to use a different email address with every single Etsy store. So without further ado, go ahead and go to etsy.com/sale. And we are going to click on get started. We are setting up a new account. So let's go ahead and put in our new account. And mine is Soulful Pixels and Prints at Gmail. Hit continue. We are going to put in my first name, put in my password. Make sure it is something that you remember. Click register and boom. All right, so read through all of this. Take a few minutes, read through all of it. And this time it's telling me open your shop and pay a one-time $19 setup fee. So this looks like, because the last time I logged in, like I said, to create a new shop, it was only $15, and that was just a few weeks ago. So let's go ahead and do that. What brings you to Etsy? I have a business. I want to expand my online business by selling on Etsy too. We'll just click that one, or you could skip the question. Go to next. Is there anything you would like help with? You can, of course, click on all of this, and it will give you options. So like shop naming and branding. But in my case, I already know what I am doing. So we are going to marketing to new audiences. I don't need help with it. Well, let's select this because it will probably send me some emails on some items, right? So discovering, I want to see what it actually sends over to me. Let's click next. Now time for the fun part. We'll walk you through creating your shop and filling in with items. Shop language is going to be English. Shop country is United States. Before you start this process, you want to check in Google for Etsy and see what countries are not permitted to sell on Etsy, because there are countries that unfortunately, in India currently is one of them, where I think before November 2023, if you were in India, you could sell on Etsy. Now, if you're in India and you're trying to set up a new shop, you are not able to set up a new shop. And it has to do with the payment processing that is in India. Not so much that, oh my gosh, Etsy has banned individuals in India or other countries. Now, there are some countries out there that have sanctions in the whole 9 yards. I'm not going to get into all of that, where you're just not able to sell on Etsy. But I know with India, it has something to do with how they process payments, and they're working through those issues. So double check and make sure before you go down this rabbit hole of, trying to create a store on Etsy, that you are in fact in a country that allows you to sell in Etsy. And I'll find the link for that and put it in the description. So I'm English, shop language, United States dollar, save and continue. Enter your store, your shop name. And I am naming my shop Soulful Pixels. Let's see, and prints. So Soulful Pixels and Prints. Hold on one moment. One thing to remember is that your Etsy store has to be between 4 and 20 characters. So apparently my Etsy store name is a little too long. So let me click on here. Let's back this out and see. So Soulful Pixels Prints. Whoo, I like that, but I wish I could put the and in here. Let me see if I say and. What if I take the S off? Oh, so Soulful Pixels and Print is available, and I am going to change that. Do your research on your name. One thing you can do is use our good friend Chat GPT. Tell Chat that you want to launch a new Etsy store. Tell Chat what your store is going to be about. Give it some words that you may want to include, which is precisely what I did. I liked the term soulful, and I liked using the term pixels. So it gave me a list of about 20 different names, and this is what I narrowed it down to. So we have soulful, pixels, and print. You want to also make sure, and this is just a recommendation, it doesn't always have to be that. It can go either way. I have a store called the Kabila, and it is geared towards African American women. I sell a wide variety of items on that store, and the recommendation was, of course, you want to use keywords and things that are tied into your store. But what I have found out on Etsy as you begin to research on Etsy is that people really do have a wide variety of names that are all over the place, and those shops still have thousands of purchases. But take the time to double check your name, search for that name on the internet, see if the domain name is available, all of that stuff. Because just because it is available on Etsy, guess what? You don't want to pick a name that isn't available elsewhere. And yes, you have that name on Etsy, but now you can't have it on other social media platforms, or you can't get the domain name. So do your research up front. All right, let's hit save and continue. Tell us about your listing. The next thing it's going to do is it is automatically going to ask you to create a listing. So I'm going to go in here and hit the pause button. I'm actually going to create a quick listing real quick. I was supposed to do this prior to. I did not do it. So I would tell you guys, go ahead and create your listing. And in this case, I'm just going to do a simple one item piece of clip art. Okay, guys, so I did create a very quick digital file. And as I said before, you can pre-create, like you could pre-create all of your files, everything, an actual true product. Or in theory, you can use a dummy file. However, if you are going to use a dummy file, and you already have another Etsy store, do not use one of your files or anything from another Etsy store. You just, if you gotta create something imaginary, it creates something imaginary, but it could cause your store to get closed down. So do not use images and files and things that are on other Etsy stores that you may have. So we are still in the setup process, and before I finish up with this one, I wanted to show you at the top, it had the shop preferences. You had to name your shop. Remember, under 20 characters. Now you have to stock your shop, then it'll go through the process of how you get paid, share your billing information, and your shop security. So let's jump back over here, and this is going to be a digital file, but in this case I'm going to use this option because it's really for junk journal, right? So go through here and figure out which category you need to be in. If you're confused about what category, look at somebody else's listing that is selling something similar to yours and see what category they chose. The one thing you will find out about Etsy is that Etsy is one of your best resources. It's going to show you and tell you everything that you need to know. So I am going to select planner templates. It is a digital file. Who made it? I did. What is it? It's a supply or tool to make things. When did I make it? I just made it. And then how is this file content created? Created by me. It's designed and created entirely by me, compiled by me. It's sourced from somewhere else. So let's say you had PLR products or something. Then you could say that it's sourced from somewhere else. And it's created with the help from an AI generator. So I'm going to select that option. And if you make your stuff completely from scratch, then by all means, select that it was created entirely by me. All right, I don't have a production partner. This is more so if you're doing print on demand. So Printful, Printify, Minted, Print Minted, those types of companies. This is where you would put their information at, but this is all me. So hit save and continue. What is the title? So this is where you put in your title. Now, here's what I tell people. We are not trying to reinvent the wheel. So again, if you have a similar product as someone else, pull from their title. You can then ask your good friend ChatGPT to do what? Rewrite the title. Do not think of a title in the traditional sense. Your title is a combination of your keywords. So you want to put in keywords in here. I am going to use the following title, which is handwritten pages and old letters, junk journal pages, digital pages, the whole 9 yards. I think you guys figured that out. And you have up to 140 characters. Use all of your characters. Now here for photos and video, this is where you have 10 slots. You want to use all 10 slots. Use all 10 slots. And then you also have where you are going to upload your digital file. So what I am going to go ahead and do is find my digital file and drag this over here. Let me see what happened to it because I don't see it. Oh, here it is. So here's my digital file. And all I did was and I will show you guys exactly what I created. It is a junk journal page, handwritten letter, 8.5 by 11, created the image in Midjourney, pulled it into Canva, downloaded and saved it as a PDF print file and changed it to CMYK, hit the save button, and that is what the file is. That's what the file is, right? And that's what your buyer is going to receive once they submit their payment. Your photos and video, you can create these inside of Canva. Don't overthink the process. They need to be at a minimum. I use 2000 by 2000 pixels, right? And that's what I'm going to upload here. Now, for the purpose of the video, I'm only going to upload one file. When you ultimately do your other listings on Etsy, you want to try to use all 10 slots. And I'll show you some other examples of exactly what these photos and videos are so that you are very clear on what you need to do. So let me upload that. Hold on. So let's upload. Let me find the image that I created real quick, and we are going to upload that there. And again, guys, you want to use all 10 slots and create a video. But I would tell you at the very least, get several images uploaded, and there are templates and things you can already use inside of Canva. You don't have to go out and spend a bunch of money buying templates, but I will leave a link to some Etsy templates, mock-up templates that you can utilize. Okay, so we're going to take this real quick. Don't forget this part. When you've uploaded all of your images, click on the image, get it to bring it up, and we are going to put over here in the alt text, put all this information in here. You can switch it up from image to image, but for the most part, people always forget to put this information in for your alt text. All right, we're going to hit apply, and you want to do that for all 10 of your images. So make sure you do that for all 10 images. Let's keep going down. I would also, in this case, I'm not going to do it on here, but I would also add an additional PDF page that says thank you, so that if there's a coupon code you want to give people, additional information, how to find you on social media, you just simply want to say thank you, then you can add another file. So I would add a PDF page that says thank you, and I will show you all these extra items at the end of the video. If this were a Canva template, you would download your PDF that says, hey, thank you for shopping with my shop, yada, yada, yada. And inside of that PDF, there would be the Canva template link. If you were doing invitations and say you were using, excuse me, what is the site? I think it's called, I can't think. Maybe by the end, I'll remember what the name of the site is. You would put that link in there. If your files were on a Google Drive, you would put the link inside of the thank you PDF, and I will definitely show you guys a sample of a thank you PDF, okay? So then we want to put in the description. Listen. Nobody has time for all of this, so you're going to go on over to ChatGPT and ask Chat to write you a description. Then you can tweak it and do whatever you need to do to it. You can look at someone else's description and have Chat completely rewrite a description, but it's just as easy to simply ask Chat to write a description for you. So let's have Chat write a description for us. So we got our good friend Chat to write us a description. Let's scroll back down here. We're going to throw this description in here. And again, this is really for the purpose of getting your store set up. But as you begin to add other listings, the process is in fact the same. And you can come back in here and tweak all of your information, but I just basically took this information and told chat to write me an Etsy description based off of this information. I told chat what size the PDF was, and that it was 300 DPI, and this is what chat then came up with. So we want to put that information in there, so we know that it's not going to be a JPEG. And it's not a collection, right? So if I were doing a collection, this would be appropriate, but it's just one letter. Now, normally I would do it as a collection. So one letter, and let's put that in there. These printable journaling papers are ideal for. All right, so we got all of that. You could also tell chat to do what? Add some emojis, which I always do, so that way you already have emojis. So if I go back in and I tell chat real quick to add emojis, it's just going to revise what you wrote. And what I do like is that now chat has Chat GPT Canvas. Make sure that is what you are utilizing. It is amazing. So let me update that real quick, just so you guys can see the difference. Boom. Look at that. So again, guys, there's no excuse, because there are too many tools that will help you navigate all of this. All right, so we're not doing any personalization, because you can't do personalization with your digital products. Well, I guess in theory you could, but we're not doing any personalization, okay? And then we are going to price it at, we're going to price it at $2. Tells you what your estimated profit is. I always put in a quantity. I like for my stuff to show up that, you know, it's in 17 carts and there are only 20 left. So I'm going to put in 25. I don't have a SKU number. There aren't any variations. You could fill in the primary colors, the secondary colors, your tags. Your tags are your keywords. So think of your tags are, how does somebody go online and search? How does someone go on Etsy and search for vintage papers? So it could be, of course, I would put in junk journal. Vintage papers. I would also, of course, go back to Etsy and start searching. The other thing you can do is you could also go to another listing, and if you scroll, let me see. If you scroll to, let's just go to Etsy.com, search for vintage, or let's search for handwritten. Written letters. Shows you I have Everbee installed, and I use the free version. So install the Everbee extension so that you can track and see what the various you can get information about what's going on Etsy, right? So let's do letters, and let's see what pops up. Let's see what pops up for junk journals. So here's some. And then if you scroll all the way at the bottom, it will normally give you, here it is, related searches. So PDF paper, Parisian writing paper, digital pattern writing. So you could put all of this in here. Old handwriting, wedding paper, vintage handwritten paper. So this is where you can get the various tags that you want to input. So for the purpose of our video, we're going to go back to here. And again, you want to use all 13. Use all 13. Do not leave any of them blank. But we're going to skip over that. There is no materials. This is a digital file. It's an instant download. We already put in the category. There is no shipping, returns and exchanges. Because it's a digital file, there are no returns or exchanges per se. That doesn't mean that if there's a problem with your file, the buyer can still reach out to you and you can still correct it if there's an issue. I had someone the other day who downloaded images off of another one of my Etsy stores, and it was a Canva template. And she sent me an email saying, hey, I clicked on the link. It said it was, it opened up into a Canva template. Can I get it as a PNG? Well, I advertised it as a Canva template, but I still went ahead and uploaded all of the files to my Google Drive, and then I sent her a link to the Google Drive. So yes, you do want to fix stuff. If it's not going to, cause you a lot of heartache and grief, just fix it so that the buyer will come back and buy from you again. All right, so next is your shop section. You can add a shop section. So let's just add a section, right? And we are going to call it vintage handwritten letters. Oh, can only be up to 24 characters. So let's just call it what about if we do vintage letters? Hit save. So now it's going to place this inside of a shop section. You could have a shop section called sales. You could have a shop section called new arrivals, Christmas, holidays. It just depends on what you want to, if it has a theme behind it, then you can definitely create different shop sections for that. And we want to feature this listing. So let's just go ahead and say yes. And here are your renewal options. So it costs 20 cents. It's 20 cents for every listing. Now your listing lasts for 4 months. So if I list this paper today, my listing will not expire until 4 months from now, and it will auto renew. That's one aspect of paying the 20 cents. But the reality is that if this particular item sells, every single time there is a purchase, I am going to get charged 20 cents for it to add the listing back in. So don't overthink it. Just know every time something sells, you are going to, when you first list something, you're paying 20 cents. Every single time it sells to someone, you're going to pay that same 20 cents. I select automatic, and then let's hit save and continue. If there is anything missing, it would have flagged it and given us an error. So we would have had to stop and wait. So let's see what's going on, because I did log in on my email and approve everything. So let's see if that's why we are not popping up. Okay, I had to go hit the back button and come back forward. So it says great job on your first listing. Let's do this later. So we're not going to add any additional listings because we want to get our shop set up. So we are going to do this later. And then getting paid on Etsy, this should be the next thing that you put in. And you want to upload and verify your bank account information. They are going to do, listen, don't select business. I'm going to leave it at that. If you do and you don't get your stuff approved and something was misspelled, the whole 9 yards, that is completely on you. So For tax purposes, select individual. We are in the United States. We are going to make sure you do not accidentally put something in here that is not correct. I'm going to fill all of this in, and then I am going to come down here after I fill all this information in, connect your bank via Plaid. I don't know if it's Plaid or Plaid. I think that's Plaid. It will automatically connect to the account that I needed to connect to because all of that is saved, on my browser. So give me 1 second. So I input all of my personal information above, and then I simply could click on connect your bank via Plaid. And I am going to hit continue. You can select manual. It's going to take several days. So if you select instant, you can then instantly log into your bank information and it is going to verify everything for you. So let's hit continue. You are going to search for your bank. In my particular case, it happens to be Navy Federal. So let me finish this process up. I selected Navy Federal, and then it's going to say to log in, at your Navy Federal or your Wells Fargo, your Bank of America, whatever bank you use, you need to log into it. This is the new step. So now you need to verify your identity to Etsy. And it's real simple. You're basically going to take a selfie. You're going to upload a picture, the front and the back of your driver's license. So you need to be able to do all of that, pose for your selfie, and then keep it moving. It's as simple as that. It takes a few minutes and then it's done, and then it will take you on to the next step. This is the next page that pops up. So now you'll begin to verify, and it's going, because I'm not using my camera on my computer, it's going to give me a code to scan so I can complete the other steps directly from my cell phone. So begin verifying. You got to go through, select United States or whatever country you are in. And I am going to do my driver's license. Front of driver's license, take a photo, and I am going to use another device. So all I'm doing now is scanning the code with my photo. And trust me, once I've done it, you guys wouldn't be able to. Somebody is probably like, oh my God, she showed us the code. The QR, we're good. So it popped up on my phone, and now I have to finish the process of scanning my driver's license and everything from my phone. Like I said, I scanned the QR code, took my picture, did my selfie, everything from my cell phone. Then this pops up on the existing page you are on in Etsy that says your identity has been verified. Etsy is trying to get rid of all the scammers. So I know it seems like an inconvenience, but it's the cost of doing business. I'd rather they have security protocols put in place than, for people to continue to get scammed. So continue shop setup. And then this is your billing information. And this is where Etsy is going to charge you if you run ads on Etsy, if you're 20 cents. So if you don't have those 40 free listings, this is the credit card that Etsy is going to charge you. If you have a separate bank account and have it linked to that particular card versus your regular card. So for me personally, I have a whole separate account that I just use for all of my Etsy stuff. That's it. So you want to put your credit card information and everything in here, and then we are almost done with this phase of it. So it processed my credit card for the one-time $19 fee. The next page that pops up is keep your shop extra safe. You can choose to download Etsy codes. Make sure you remember which store it's for and where they're at. Or you can simply select the option to send you an SMS. And all this does is, and you can turn this back off if for some reason you need to turn it back off. It's just going to send a code to my cell phone. Every time I log in to this particular Etsy account, it's going to verify that code. So I'm going to select that option so it can send me a code. We're going to send my code. We are going to put in my verification number and all that good stuff. So we are official. It did send me, it also gave me the codes, and I just download them and save them to my computer underneath of the store name. So hooray! Soulful Pixels and Print is open for business. So let's go through now and explore your shop manager, because we're not done yet. We got the store open. We are officially ready to be in business. Let's go in and add some additional stuff. So you want to go around and navigate and go through and figure out what all of these different things are, right? So you have your main dashboard, you have your listings. Right now we only have one listing. If we had listings in draft, it would pop up in draft. If it was expired, sold out, inactive, this is where all of your listings are at. You can manage your sections and just play around in your dashboard and get familiar with your dashboard. You can also go underneath of marketing if you wanted to run Etsy ads. One of the things you always want to double check is that a lot of times you'll create a listing, and I promise you check your Etsy ads and you're like, how am I didn't even select to run an Etsy ad. So just double check. Okay, let's go to, I'm not going to go through all of this, but all of your settings, all of your information underneath the settings is important. So under your settings, you want to make sure you go into, let's see if we can get this to stay up, your info and appearance about your shop, your options. If this is a digital shop, then of course you don't have shipping, your policy settings, partners you work with, but you could have a print on demand store and you're not doing a digital Etsy store. So make sure you go in and just take a look at all of this information. Let's go into info and appearance. Your shop title. What is your shop title? Let me show you real quick. If we just click on someone's shop and go to their, here's the name of their shop, and then here is that shop title. Here's a shop title. So we're just going to borrow that for a second. Let's go back. And this is where you would put in your shop title. So it's just an extra area where you tell people this is what your shop is about. In my case, I am going to put in, we are digital and printable. Let me see. Let me jump over here to digital and printable. We'll say clip art. Let's see, clip art. And let's just say junk journals. And of course, there's always a limit on how much information you can put in there. You can upload your shop icon. It needs to be 500 by 500. You can have a receipt banner so that which I tell you guys to go through and create all of this and get it uploaded so that you have really branded your store. You can have a shop announcement. So let's just say we're going to do welcome to the grand opening Opening of Soulful Pixels and print. Take 50% off all of your purchases. Shop announcement is very useful, and I'll show you some samples of some other shop announcements. You can have a message to your buyers. You could also have a separate message to your digital buyers. Ask chat to help you write a message for your buyers. It takes you all of 2 seconds to say, hey, chat, write a thank you message to my buyers on Etsy. So again, fill in all of this information. When someone makes a purchase, it will pop up on that page. So this is all valuable. I always call it valuable real estate. So you want to make sure that you are using all of that. Let's see if I can't copy this real quick. And I'm going to throw this in here. Boom. Thanks. And go in here and tweak it. Okay. Make sure you go in here and tweak it. And it can be exactly the same in both of them. You don't have to have something different, but you definitely can. All right. So we got all of that. Let's just hit save changes. I'm going to come back in and upload my shop icon. And your shop icon is like your logo. You can go inside of Canva and create a logo. You can always come back and change out your logo. So make sure you put something in here. Let's go over to the sales channel so that you can see how to change out your banner. Right now, it just shows, this is what you see. So, of course, I want to upload a picture for that. But I want to go in here and I want to edit my shop because I already created a banner. So, I want to add my banner. And I'm just going to do a big banner. If you pay for the $10 per month, which I tell people, once you start making some sales, go ahead and upgrade to the upgrade, right? It's going to run you $10 a month. You're going to make your money back, but it does give you some additional benefits. It lets your shop layout be a little bit differently. I will show you guys an example of one of my stores that I do the upgrade on. So that is an option. So right now I want it to be a big banner. It already tells you what the minimum size is. Inside of Canva, there are Etsy store banners already done for you. You can go in there and use one of the store banners, which is exactly what I did, and just tweak it to fit your needs. So let's hit done. We're going to add the image. Let me pull this over here. And I am going to go over to, let me find the image. It's over here. Uh-oh. Here it is. This is my image. So let me just go in here and change out the title and change it to Soulful Pixels. Soulful Pixels banner, Etsy, and download it real quick. Nothing complicated, because again, this is to get your store up and running. You can always go back and tweak all of this information. So Soulful Pixels and Prints, like I need to change that to print. Change that to 1. Let me download this again. And I think this is a pretty banner. It's just, it's quaint. Again, don't overthink the process. Let's get this stuff done. Let's go back. We're going to add in the image. I am going to find that file. Here we go, and drag it over here, and there we are. Hit save. Uh-oh. Let me close that out. Hit the save button. We're going to add in, I'll come back in and add in that. But basically, we are, if I wanted to do a featured area to highlight a listing, I could select the standard grid, the mixed grid, which you have to do the upgrade for. And I do like the mixed grid, but you have to pay for the upgrade, right? And that's $10 a month. So, and the cool thing is that as you earn money, they will take it out of what's available on your Etsy account. So let's just do done. And right now I only have the one listing. So of course, if I had multiple listings, I could add them all in here. And let's just hit save because we only have one item, and let's view our shop. So when someone comes to Etsy, this is what they are seeing right now. Here's that announcement. Remember the announcement. Welcome to the grand opening. Don't overthink it. Here are the one item that we have on here. I'm going to add my picture in here. I'm going to add a couple of other things. And boom, your store is up and running. So that is how you create an Etsy store, an Etsy digital store. Don't overthink the process. Now let's jump in just real quick and let me show you how quickly I created this item to sell on Etsy. So let's go over to, let me see. Let me close out some of these other pages first. Let's do that. Let's go to, I use Midjourney. You can use Midjourney. You can use ChatGPT. So I use a combination of Midjourney and ChatGPT. So in that particular case, I was looking for what? We were looking for written or handwritten letters. As soon as I typed in handwritten, this is what began to pop up. So I can take, let's say, I'm trying to see if there is another one in here that we could use. Let's use that one. Let's copy. And we wanted to say a handwritten signature for written signature. Signature for, what if we say love yourself? A woman. All of this information doesn't really matter. Who has traveled extensively, loves life. I like to use aspect ratio, which has to be in lowercase AR. 17 to 22 will give you a 8.5 by 11 page. Just hit enter. And boom, we're waiting for it to print in the background. So let's jump over to some stuff that I already created. So when I said, hey, I'm going to run over here and create something to sell on Etsy, here we go. Here's that image. I did a basic upscale to it. Vintage handwritten papers by sellers, digital papers for scrapbooks. That is how easy it is. So we could definitely, I don't necessarily, I like this one. I could, potentially use this one. But again, that is how easy it is to create an image. Let's scroll down and take a look at some other stuff that I had previously created. So you guys can see junk journals. Here's some other letters, other images. So I had already been working on items for this particular Etsy store. So I have an Etsy store that had planners and junk journals, and my junk journal images were doing well. So I'm like, no. According to Jessa Bellman, who I would tell you guys, make sure you are following Jessa. Jessa has over 18 Etsy stores. She always talks about you need to be very niched. So I wanted to do something that was a little separate from the planners, because planners and digital stickers are a niche all by themselves. So here we are. Here are some other items that I'm creating for junk journal. Shabby chic colorful roses on vintage paper junk journal page, vintage Victorian style. Don't overthink the process. If you see something and you don't like it, guess what? Just hit the button again and keep recreating. Just recreate. Don't try and fix a whole lot of stuff. People want to fix extra fingers and toes, and we're not doing all of that. We're going to create something brand new. Even sunflowers. So all of this is about to be on this new Etsy store. And you guys, go through and search for items inside of Midjourney and then see what you like and then tweak the prompt to make the prompt fit you. That is how easy it is. Again, there's a reason we call it soulful pixels in print. So we're going to add some soul to it. We're definitely going to add some soul to it. But, again, play around. I have all these Christmas ones that I'm about to add. It's going to be so cute. It's going to be so cute. I'm so excited that you guys get to see me start from scratch and see, like, hey, over the next few weeks, make sure you come back and check it out and see if I have actually sold anything. I think you guys will be surprised at the amount of items that junk journals, in fact, sell. So that particular niche is a hot niche, but you can do clip art. It's just completely, again, it's completely up to you. So you can go in and, isn't she cute? Too cute, right? Yeah. All right. So that's quickly how you can, of course, create your images. There are separate videos and things out there to show you how to upscale images and do some of the other stuff. It is not a part of this particular video. And then once you are inside of Etsy, because you're going to upload, you're going to create 8.5 by 11 or 11 by 8.5, because you'll see if you're doing junk journals, you will see the images where it's on 2 pages. So let's jump over to, let's just go back to Etsy and search for junk journal pages so that it makes sense to you that you can do it in different sizes. As you guys can see, this is just kind of old graph paper. So yes, use what's on Etsy to figure out the different things that you want to put on your own store. And again, it doesn't have to be a junk journal. It can be clip art. But do your research on Etsy and see what's trending, what's out there. Look at this one. In demand, 4 people bought this in the last 24 hours. So on one page you had flowers, and on the other page, again, it's a lot. People are purchasing this. This good money adds up. So don't leave good money on the table is all I'm saying. Figure out what you want to sell. Create a digital store. Everything I showed you here, even though we reference junk journals, it is applicable to other items. Here is one of my stores. Let's go to brand indigo blue, 259 sales. Let's see what is selling. My snowman, my Christmas stuff. So I'm working on all new Christmas stuff to add to the store. People that are crafters, they are working on their Christmas stuff right now. Right now, they are working to get all of their Christmas stuff done. So this is all stuff that recently sold. I'm about to add in some more Santa Clauses, the whole 9 yards. Okay. So again, I know that this snowman is selling well. So guess what I'm about to do? Add in a ton of new snowmen. If I go back into Midjourney, you'll see, because you have to be aware of what's going on with Etsy. You'll see that I have some Thanksgiving stuff I'm about to add to another. I have like, I don't know, 6 or 7 different Etsy stores at this point, but there are some here's my snowmen. So I'm getting ready to add these cute snowmen to the store. Stop sleeping on the good money. Digital products can make you a lot of money. So get your Etsy store going, get it up and running. Do what you need to do to get this store up and running before Black Friday. If you have questions, you can always reach out to me. I will leave all the contact details and, all that stuff, good stuff below. And then I also offer done for you Etsy stores where you $69 and I will create a store for you that has a minimum of 10 items on it. So if you don't want to, now you'll still need to set up your store. You still need to go through the process to set up your store because they need your credit card information. They have to verify who you are. I will in turn create actual products for you to be able to sell on your store. And the products I create for you are exclusively for you. So once I turn them over to you, they are your products. I don't use the same products for someone else. So just something for you guys to think about. Here is another Etsy store of mine. Let's see. This is Indigo Blue Designs. This started out as a store that had images for your tumblers, right? And I wanted to transition and do digital stickers, the junk journals. But as you guys can see, this is probably going to become my planner site. Or it's going to go back to just being my site that is just for tumblers, and I probably need to create a completely separate Etsy store that is just for digital planners, primarily digital planners. So tons of stuff out there. People do in fact buy stuff. So I'm telling you guys, get out here and create your Etsy store. This is my POD store, which is it was previously called Black Girl Magical, and I just changed the name. This is a POD store, so it's not a digital store. We actually sell products and such on this particular store. And then one of my other stores, and then I'm gonna let you guys go, is my Brag Differently store. And it sells business templates, the whole 9 yards. So there are a multitude of different ways to make money via Etsy. So I'm just telling you guys, hey, get your Etsy store up and running. Thank you for joining me on this rainy Sunday in Metro Atlanta. I will talk to you guys later.